let's talk about some data privacy and data security. What is the difference? Well, so being, that I live in Alabama, it's what we would call in Alabama very close kissing cousins. Not quite the same thing, but they are similar with some slight variance, right? So when it comes specifically, for instance, to identifying what is data privacy, well, data privacy is all about authorized access. Who has the rights and privileges to access data items across an organization or across several organizations? Sometimes you'll hear this identified as individuals that have a demonstrated need to know. So data privacy officers manage authorized access and set the base definitions for who is permitted to access data. Versus data protection is more about securing against unauthorized access. So you'll have to compare and contrast them, you'll have a data privacy officer that will set the definition that, only employees of company X can access the organization's intranet. And so with that base definition, the data protection officers will then set up technologies like Active Directory or VPNs or any myriad of it in between, and ensure that if somebody is coming from a domain outside of, mredmond@companyx.com, that they cannot access the company's intranet. They will only be able to access either the company's extranet or things that are out in the DMZ being served up as public services. So that's really kind of how you would compare and contrast them. Some organizations have two different people or two different departments that handle data privacy versus data protection. And some organizations, especially some of the medium or smaller size organizations, they don't have the resources to be able to put them in two different locations, and they'll house them all in one organization, or even charged with one person's duties. We used to have individuals, that we would identify as CIO IAMs, right? Whenever someone was a CIO IAM, they were both the data privacy officer, protecting the information of the organization, maintaining that everyone who needs access has access, and the IAM, the information assurance manager, would ensure that whoever does not have the demonstrated need to know, how are you going to block those people from gaining access, right? So at the end of the day, data protection is essentially, yes, it's a technical issue, but because you're dealing with personal privacy matters, you're also going to run into several legal issues that you need to be aware of.